Sana kwa sana album reviews ni Africana hapa, karibu sana kwa the channel kama ni first timer, na if you are a returning viewer ama a returning subscriber, karibu kwa mara nyingine. Na nimesema album reviews, yes, na niko peke yangu. It's a bit different this time. Kuna kitu inaitwa music writer exercise and ilianzishwa na an American music journalist anaitwa Gary Schwartz, and I discovered the exercise in 2019 na nikaanza kuifanya. And what happens ni unasikiza an album a day, an album yenye hujawahi sikiza before in a day, alafu unaandika a tweet about the album. So I've been doing that since 2019. It's 2021, I'll still do that homework, lakini nimeamua kujichallenge pia kupeleka further na kudecide hizo albums na kwa naandika tweets about before ni zirelease, ndo nipate my final words, my characters for my tweet. I'll do a first listen review, one listen ya kwanza, alafu I do a review of the project. Hiyo ndo kenye nataka kufanya for the whole of February. Leo ni 1st February, it is 2:31 am na this is the first project nimesikiza, and I'll be doing that through the entire month, but I'll release the videos later. So sai, as you're watching this, is 1st of March, a month later. But hiyo ndo idea na go for. Now this is the first project, na it's Storm ya Manasseh Shalom. So walk with me through this journey and hopefully you get to see all the reviews zenye nimefanya. So 28 projects for me, na range from EPs to mixtapes to albums, and I'm keeping it strictly Kenyan for my choices because na feel kuna a lot more that we're supposed to be doing for our culture, na hiyo ndo focus ya projects zangu, and I've been doing that since 2019, though ikianza nilichagua few international projects, then nikaamua kufocus on Kenyan projects peke yake. As nimemention, naangalia an EP called Storm ya Manasseh Shalom. Imedrop in January, a few weeks back, one of the first projects of the year, and Manasseh also won an award kwa the Kafengoma Awards. And then this is a follow-up ya his project yenye ilitoka 2020 pia, in the beginning of the year. And so I get into the EP and iko heavily centered on keys, just simple melodies, simple airy keys zenye anacheza through, I'm assuming it's him, anacheza through the entire project, and also harmonies. So anafocus sana pia on harmonies and layering his vocals through the entire songs. That is majorly his focus and his delivery ya the project. And then where kuna drum patterns and percussion segments in the project, especially for the first two songs, na feel hazija work and they sound weird ukisikia the drum sections, especially for Rise. When he gets into the chorus, the first chorus of the song, una feel has it sound as good, sounds a bit off, kama he's still working on producing the beats. Has it sound as good as the keys sound? So you can tell keys ni more of his forte than building up an entire instrumentation, na the drum segments especially ndio zinaimake ikuwe conspicuous. Those were the first two tracks especially, but napenda how they both build up. Napenda how Kwaheri Milele builds up ikienda towards the second half of the song, and ikona a certain climax to it. And also Rise, he gets into the zone after the first chorus and it ends up also being a good song, I could say. Definitely you have Bourgeoisie, which is strictly vocal, and then you have Dark Brown Eyes, which is easily the favorite song of this project. Na feel amedeliver in terms of the writing, amedeliver in terms of his vocal delivery, amedeliver poa sana in terms of how the instrumentation of the song sounds. Alafu you have Piece of Art, which ni idea yenye anasema there is a master painter, a master creator who ni God, na yendo anashika the paint brush na akichora his strokes, akichora his painting, hana mistakes, hana errors, hana doa. Kwa hivyo ni a craftsman mwenye ni a perfect one, na as activities za life zina play out, that is what it's supposed to be according to his eyes na according to his work, because ni a master creator. That's the idea of piece of art. Anasema life ni a piece of art, tusiharibu by kujaribu kuibadilisha na kujaribu kuchange trajectory ya occurrences zenye zina appear in our lives. The EP as a whole, watu ukiangalia the cover, such a simple cover, grey alafu with the storm yellow imeandikwa katikati, very simplistic, but ukisikia kuna so much turbulence in the project, but I'm assuming kuna hiyo sort of the grayness. Ukifikiria storms, ukifikiria dark clouds and what they symbolically mean, I'm thinking perhaps that is sort of what he was going for with the grayness. Alafu ukiangalia now storm and the yellow aspect of the color that he went with for the font, kuna a bright aspect of it, na hii brightness neza presume ama neza interpret as the calmness yenye akonayo towards the end of the album, especially kwa Dark Brown Eyes na Piece of Art, but pia from kwa Heri Milele na Rise, all of these songs ziko na an optimistic side to them. Basically that's the entire idea. Yes, kuna a storm, kuna so much pain na kuna hiyo motif ya pain running through the entire album, EP, from kwa Heri Milele all the way to Piece of Art. He constantly keeps on referring to pain na venye ameumia na ameona so much pain, lakini at the end of the day from kwa Heri Milele ana walk out the door and ameenda goodbye to all of these things amekuwa kipitia, especially since amefocus on love, na pia kuna second verse talks about family and other occurrences za life, but the main thing amefocus on ni love, because pia kuna Rise ana mention. So kwa Rise napenda how he brings back the kwa Heri Milele choice of words alitumia kwa the previous song, the preceding song, he brings it back, but pia ana emphasize the same message, because ina feel like it's just an extension of kwa Heri Milele. Rise is just an extension, ni kama a part 2 ama a side B of the same song. Then you have Dark Brown Eyes, so where he's walking out the door kwa Heri Milele, and then anaenda kwa Rise and now ana fly away, and then kuna line anasema so goodbye pain, not seeing you again. I laughed when nimesikia mara ya kwanza, sai ime sound corny for some reason. And then you have Dark Brown Eyes, now he says ana fall na hati yake ina fall out of him, hati yake inatoka out of his body na hizi jicontrol, na akifall msimshike, ana hope tu ata land. Akiland udi mwenye ameona with the dark brown eyes atakuwa pale hivyo akifall. So kuna hiyo idea now falling again back in love after kuongelea how amekuwa hurt kwa Heri Milele na Rise and the pain yenye ame experience, and then Dark Brown Eyes comes through, that's what anaongelea. And then you have Piece of Art, which I'm assuming ni a follow up of Dark Brown Eyes, because yes, alifall in love and kuna this person mwenye aliona, though kuna a line alisema kwa Dark Brown Eyes, don't walk out, I've felt so much pain before, na ilikuwa weird because nilikuwa najiambia uni msetu umeona and you want to know their name, ungependa kumjua na kumfahamu zaidi, and then you're saying that that line nili find weird, but naisikia tena, of course definitely nione kama Kenya nasema ni accurate. Then you have Piece of Art, anasema your hand, anaanza na verse ya kwanza akiongelea, ana set up akiongelea story ya God kukuwa the master painter na his perfection characteristic, alafu ana tell the story of now how yes your hand still fits kwa yangu, and then how your eyes dented my soul. So your reference ya eyes takes us back to Dark Brown Eyes. Alafu anasema but sasa tumepitia heartbreak once again, now we have to let each other go, let me go, I will also let you go, na tusijaribu kuchange i painting ya this masterful creator. Again venye nimesema, that's the idea. Yes, kuna storm na kuna easy turbulent moments na experiences kwa maisha, but at the end of the day and understand that kuna a higher creator wako in charge na things ni perfect na things ina happen as they should be. That in itself might also work against the idea that he's going for, because if that's the case, then why are you telling us how much pain uko in, na yale machungu umepitia na kenye imekufanya katika maisha. Si basi if that's the case, just accept na uko tu sawa. So kuna hiyo aspect pia yenye unaweza counter if you want to argue philosophically na logically about the philosophy that is using for Storm and the conclusion that is piece of art. Kama ume notice nimelenga bourgeoisie, which in a funny way, in a humorous way ni bogosi as Manasseh anaitamka, and it's because hii project imefocus sana on love na heartbreak na kurise from your pain. Alafu uko na hii bogosi yenye anaongelea wanasiasa. Of course the term we know what it means, wale wase wenye wana on means na factors of production, wale wakwasi wenye wako na mali nyingi sana na wana control vitu, the ruling class. Alafu bogosi, it's a political song. Yes, it's iko kwa theme, iko kwa maudhui ya Storm na hii turbulence yenye anazungumzia through the entire project, but your love remains as the center. Hiyo ndio epicenter ya kazi mzima. So what happens ni with this one, I made a political, so kwanza ilini throw off. Alafu nilikuwa nangoja kuona where itaenda in terms of the duration na Kenya atasema. I loved how alianza with the vocals, anaimba a line ana stop kunaenda quiet, another line ananyamaza kunaenda quiet. Nilipenda hiyo technique alitumia, so nilikuwa nangoja kuona kama atashikilia that technique and the satirical aspect alianza nayo kwa the opening lines through an entire song. So nilikuwa na assume itakuwa as long as the other songs kwa the EP, but it's literally 50 seconds. Ni very short, so ina feel like an interlude, but ina feel like a forced interlude but since ajaeka hivyo, it feels like a forced song, cause hata ingekuwa interlude hainge fit, imekuwa cause we are not transitioning from one thing to another, to end into a political zone afterwards, so inge fall flat. So ina feel like a forced song. Yes, ni politics, unasema how wanasiasa the bogosi wanakula do za wananchi wenye wana face changamoto za corona katika maisha yao, na nyinyi mnakula pesa. Mungu atasikia maombi ya maskini. Again, philosophically na logically, hiyo ni an entire debate whether that happens na whether huo ni ukweli that Mungu sikia maombi ya maskini. Point ni the song being forced, alafu ulianza poa na humorously, satirically, so it's a joke sort of with the opening lines. So nilikuwa nangoja carry forward, ingekuwa an amazing satirical song, but now it turns into this sort of preachy and warning thing that Mungu anasikia maombi za maskini, so acheni kula do za watu. Na feel such songs kuwa more impactful in my view if they're satirical, na pia alikuwa ameset your premise kwa the opening lines za huo wimbo. Bottom line ni a forced song kwa the album, and that's the idea of the EP. Also just to mention, ikimalizia, kuna a way in which vocals zake zimekuwa mixed kwa the opening songs sana, the first two songs, which normally inafanya ikuwe easy for me kusema Dark Brown Eyes is the favorite, cause hapo hivyo iko hawiski ama haiko kwa hiyo ngoma. Kwa Heri Milele na kwa Rise, kuna a way in which when he starts singing una feel as if beat haiko to the same level na voice zake. Yes, unasikia sifa ako close kwa masikio yako, unamsikia, but na feel ka iko higher than the beat, na some level zimeachana in terms of levels, zimeachana kwa umbali fulani. Lakini hayo ndio mawazo yangu kuhusu Storm EP ya Manasseh Shalom, which inatuasha kwa this new thing yenye najaribu kufanya fast listen reviews. Ni kitu nimekuwa nikifikiria sana kufanya, and nimeamua ni take up hii challenge pamoja na the MWE, which is the music writer exercise yenye nimemention hapo awali, na nangoja kuona what the rest of the month will look like for me na the projects nitasikiza. Nishaunda the list, so nitakuwa nasikiza projects na delve into them after my first listen before I go into kuzisikiza back and forth, no niandikia my final tweet later in the day. Na asante sana kwa kuwatch. Niambie what you think about the EP kama umeisikiza.